Locums allows you that flexibility. There was no way I could have started a business without doing locums. And why? Again, as an employee, you're given your schedule. It's hard to make requests monthly, right? I mean, if you make a request, it's like maybe for a couple times a year for a vacation.
Yeah, you can't be that employee that's always requesting.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're the director, you've been there for like 20 years, you're not going to get priority.
Right.
So I was like, okay, well, business in the real world is done Monday through Friday, typically 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Right.
So I'm working a lot of those days clinically as an employee. So that's not working because I really quickly realized I didn't have enough time to actually just work on the business, and not many days in a row because it was just erratic as an ER doc. And so when I switched to locums, now basically I just schedule myself for weekends. I would work maybe Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Saturday, Sunday, Monday, or just Saturday, Sunday, 4 times a week, sometimes 3 times a week, just have one weekend off. And then I was able to work on the business like for 5 days straight during the week. You can't do that as an employee or as a part of a contract management group or even part of a single, like a democratic group of docs, right? So I was able to, again, structure my life in such a way that allowed me to start a business and work on it pretty much full time, Now, it wasn't easy. Again, I was working on both sides, meaning that I was working on my business when I wasn't working clinically. And when I was working when I was working on my business, I guess what I'm trying to say is I was always working on something.
Right.
Either my business or my company, right? And I did have...
You had a bigger vision though, right? So it's like...
Like you said, I was like, look, I'll sacrifice a few years of my initial life and kind of like... And at the same time, I did have plenty of time for like, family and travel and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's not like I was just, head down for like 10, those years. But it gave me the opportunity, and there's no way I could have done it without that. So that's one of the things I think people don't realize. If they have a passion, they have something that they want to pursue, whether it's travel, starting their own little company, writing a book, whatever it is, you can do all of that or any of those things if you do locums. And because of the flexibility it gives you, like people don't understand how flexible and how like you can manipulate your life with locums, right? Like you can basically schedule it. I just want to drive that point home.
Yeah, and I think that's valid. I definitely feel more free now.
Free.
Yeah, I really do.
If you want to take a month off, go for it.
Yeah. I mean,
as a matter of fact, I'm looking to hopefully take like a month or 2, maybe 3, maybe come back once to do a block of shifts, spend the winter in maybe Dubai.
Right.
Because why not?
Because why not?
Right.
No, but it's true. Why not?
Yeah.
Dr. Coffee is this physician who's astute in the world of coffee beans, who knows the texture that it takes,
the nuance of like the flavors and the sub
flavors, I guess.
Sub flavors. I don't know. This guy's like nuancing all this stuff. I just drink coffee. It all tastes the same to me.
I'm gonna make you an undertow next time.
Okay.
It's
talks about like berries and nutty. I'm like, bro, it just tastes like coffee to me.
Well, it's kind of like
maybe I'm just not sophisticated like you are.
Yeah, it's kind of like
cigars.
Yes. Yeah,
like, you detest cigars, the taste.
I don't prefer smoke in my mouth, correct.
Yeah. Well, besides that, but you don't like the flavor.
I don't like the flavor.
That was disgusting.
I really don't like cigars.
Yeah.
There's that one time we had that I did enjoy it, but...
you remember which one it was?
But it dulls your taste buds. Did you not realize that? Every time I eat after the fact, I don't really taste my food as much as I would appreciate.
That's because you're soft, bro. You taste food anyways. Who cares?
Yeah,
it's just nutrition.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, technically, if you look at it from a fitness component, right, it's just an energy source. That's all it is.
Like, we're all into, like, this culture is all about pleasing yourself.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. And that's why I try to utilize food as a nutrition source as opposed to an indulgence. Right? That's another philosophy on its own, too.
And nutrition for you is a big, I think, area of interest, which I think is great. And I've learned a lot from you about it. Nutrition and things like that. And I know a lot of people at work will ask you questions about nutrition, things like that. So, yeah.
And I think...
I should do a nutrition channel, bro. I really think you need to go in that direction. Give little talks on that stuff.
I think, and I hate to kind of say this because I feel like we're almost selling a pitch here, but it's because I have so much time to.
Yeah.
And I realize that I want to focus on my health a little bit more as opposed to... focusing on, just work. But seriously, that's what it comes down to,
Mm-hmm.
And you realize that...
You mean you have the time to delve into, learn more about nutrition that you may not have had if you were working in another way. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, personal passions, right?
Yeah.
And I think, honestly, coffee came from that too, to be honest. My likes towards coffee and taste and having a setup and all that is all from just excess time, being able to kind of delve into it and kind of have a little quote unquote hobby in addition to, you know,
Some free time to let your mind wander.
Yeah, exactly.
Thing is, when you're working as an employee, your
Yeah.
mind can't wander much.
as much, yeah.
Like one of the things that allowed, again, when I did started in locums, is like my mind felt free, but like I was able to now start thinking. I was able to start thinking about like, okay, well, what is it I want in life? How am I going to get there? Are the things that I'm doing right now going to let me do it? I'm not like worried about, okay, I'm going to have to work again in 2 days. Like I can take 5 days off. I can take a week off. I can take 2 weeks off, right? It gives me time that I can think. And people don't realize that as an employee, you're kind of just on the go.
I think like you said it best earlier, to be honest, and I think it hammers the point home most is the Matrix analogy. Most people don't know that there's a real world out there, and most people are happy with that. Unfortunately, because they just don't know.
They've been told a lie, and they've believed
been told
it,
a
and
lie.
they know that they don't know they're being lied to, so they've just accepted the fact that this is life,
And that's it.
and then they end up committing, having depressed lives, and got the worst case scenario, committing suicide in many cases.
Yeah. Locumsguru.com or locumguru.com?
Locum Guru is my blog.
Is there S in there or no?
No S.
So
Locum Guru.
Okay.
One word. That's my blog that's dedicated to telling physicians about the locum space, and from a physician who's practicing full-time locums.
Also founder of LPU.
Locum Physicians United, yep.
And also founder of DocReady.com.
Yeah, we
Telemedicine.
Telemedicine company. We provide medication refills for chronic conditions and that.
Currently in the midst of doing what?
Yeah, so I'm writing a book about locums. It's almost done. I should have it done in the next couple of weeks. Again, it's just something that I'm going to give away probably free at conferences.
I think it's a smart idea.
And people, just to educate people. I'm not here. Look, if you want to work with us, great. If you don't want, you want to work some other locums company, that's fine.
We'll
I don't
still
care.
provide you information.
I'll still support you and whatever you need to know. My book should be, helpful in terms of learning about various aspects of locums. A lot of these topics are discussed in there in more depth. And then Top Doc is my Instagram handle. And I started that, I don't know, a few years ago when I was basically, people were always asking me about what I do and where I go, and they were kind of intrigued by my travels. And so I wanted to basically show people what lifestyle you can have, and locums has enabled it.
A picture is 1,000 words, right? So it's another angle to kind of teach people about this
because you can take the red pill and you can live a life that you go into Wonderland, right? You don't have to be a blue pillar person and just go back to your bed and being called by your boss to do all these modules that you didn't do since 2 weeks ago.
I think we should say saving lives, call back later.
Saving lives, call back later. All right, guys.